Alright, so it took some time, but I finally finished playing Final Fantasy 16. So, what do I think of the game? As you can expect, the development team did a good job with the graphics and the visuals of this game. Well, Square Enix has always focused on the graphics and the visuals of the Final Fantasy series. And I'll tell ya, this game is visually impressive with the area designs and the character designs. Now, I won't spoil it, but there are, I think, about three battles that are visually impressive. Like, to be honest with you, I have no idea how the PlayStation 5 could handle those graphics. For those of you who have actually played the game, you know which boss battles I'm talking about. You know which ones. And I'll leave it as that. Now, for the battle system, well, this game is more action based than RPG. Actually, for the first time ever in the Final Fantasy series, this is the first game that's completely action based. Like, this is not an RPG game, it's more like if you guys have played God of War, like that kind of game. It's just fully action based. Also, in this game, like you probably know from the trailers, is that you're only playing as one character. You don't have party members in this game. You got a dog with you, and sometimes there are other people that join you, but you're mainly controlling one person. Now, I know there's some people complaining about this game not being RPG enough, but this game is a lot of fun. Now, do I want all Final Fantasy games to be like this? No, because I kind of want them to go back to the RPG elements, what the series is known for. But either way, this game is still fun to play. Now, for me, the downside of the game being like this is there seems like, for me, there's not enough skills in the game. So you have a skill tree, but there seems like there's not enough skills to where you can equip. You can only equip, like, what is it, 6 skills max you can take into battle, because you kind of have to equip them. Yeah, so you bring you 6 skills into one battle. It seems like there's not enough. Like, as I mentioned, this game is very action based. So basically, as you can expect, the way I was playing. I haven't played the hardest difficulty, but because the hardest difficulty you have to beat the game before you unlock it so you can play it. But in the combat, within combat, there seems to not be like any strategy involved. It's more just you go in hack and slash, or you use a skill to stagger, or use a skill to do more damage. So yeah, it's more action focused than strategy, if that makes sense. And also, another thing is that there's no elemental damage. So, for example, if you use fire with fire, like, so let's say you use a fire attack against a fire type enemy, in the previous Final Fantasy games it would heal them, but in this one you still do damage. Or let's say if you use lightning against water, it doesn't do double the damage. So there's no strategy, or there's no elemental damage where you can strategize your fighting style, or what attacks to use with what. And yes, it seems to be, like I said, it's more action based. Just go in there, try to stagger your opponent, so you can bring them down, so you can do your double damage, or just do a skill that does a lot of damage. That's all you basically do. Now, I know I'm being a bit too negative with the combat system, but the game is still fun to play regardless. But I hope they don't stick with this strategy, because, to be honest with you, also I'll mention this, is the game is too easy. This game is way too easy. The combat, like, I didn't even struggle with the game. I might have had trouble with like 5 bosses, but that's it. You know, it's a very easy game to play. Actually, with that being said, they did add these rings in the game where you can make the game even easier, like automatic dodge and automatic block, automatic attack, do special combos. There is rings like cheat rings. To be honest with you, I never used any of them throughout the whole game, and I still found it too easy. So, and I played in action difficulty. So, yeah, So the game is too easy. The game is still a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but the game is too easy. Especially that there's no real RPG elements into it, where you got your party members, you have to use strategy. There's none of that. Like I said, the game is too easy, but still fun to play. Now, where this game excels at is, as I mentioned, the graphics and the visuals. and the story. The story of this game is really good. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they went with a much darker tone in this one. Like, it's a much darker story than the previous Final Fantasy games. Like, they really delve deep into, like, the effects of war and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, so just in case people are not still playing the game, so I'll leave the story as that. But the story is where it excels at. Now, I'll say this. This game is the best out of the recent Final Fantasy games, in my opinion. I think it's the best, but not as good as the original ones. So as you can say, it's not better than 7, 8 or 9, like, the old generation of Final Fantasy game. It's not quite as good as them, but it is way better than the recent entries, if that makes sense. So it's better than 13 and 12 and all them. So if you guys have played those games, then you know how good this game is. You'll have an idea how good this game is. Like I said, this game is a lot of fun. It's got a great story, minus, with less RPG elements, which, like I said, it's an action-based game. But like I said, this game is a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're into Final Fantasy, you're into, like, story-based games, definitely go pick this up if you have a PS5. Like I said, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I did everything in this game. I did all the side missions, I did all the hunts, I did everything except I didn't play it in hard mode, which is the Final Fantasy difficulty. That's the only thing I didn't do. But everything else, I completed everything. So yeah, do I recommend this? Yes. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. Great story, great characters, minus, some gameplay elements like the lack of RPG, and the game was too easy. But yeah, everything else was good in this game. So yeah, that's all for my review. Thank you for watching.